It's immediate. You don't have to look at it on the horizon as something that maybe you'll get to if you can arduously climb some spiritual mountain for years and years and years. Yes, we're going to progress into the rest of our lives, hopefully. But the essence of it can be given in an instant. And it will, as soon as we truly renounce our self-will and desire and ask for His. Okay, so why should we be so motivated? Perfect happiness. Jesus says to Louisa, as the soul enters into my volition, with its empire, it says to her, forget everything, even the home of your mother earth. Here one lives in heaven, nor is there any room for miseries and for unhappiness. My light destroys everything and transforms evils into good. Even more, my own divine will, as it sees that she wants to live in, the creature, us, it caresses her, it puts her in feast, and helps her to suppress the outlets. It closes the doors to her evils, because we neither want nor do we love for the creature to be unhappy. It dishonors us, it forms her sorrow and ours. Therefore, we want to see her happy, and of our own happiness. Oh, how painful it is for our paternal heart to possess immense riches, infinite joys, and to see our children in our own house, that is, in our will, poor, starving, and unhappy. We can't be unhappy with the gift of living in the divine will. It is the cure for unhappiness. Jesus continues, it is the nature of my will to make happiness, joy, and paradise arise wherever it reigns. The will of God and unhappiness does not exist together, nor can exist together. I say that first because happiness is what we all want for its own sake. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be happy. That's our nature, and we shouldn't fight against it. It is the thing that we want, not for the sake of anything else, but for its own sake. And Jesus wants to give it to us. He gives it to us perfectly in the gift. It doesn't mean we'll never suffer, but it does mean that those sufferings will not touch our very center. They will not harm our happiness in the least. In fact, we will love suffering with this gift. Moving along. Unmatched treasures in heaven. Why do we exist as pilgrims in this passing world? It's all going to end very soon. Even the era itself is going to end rather soon after it begins. I don't know how soon, whether it's decades or centuries, I don't know. But whatever it is, it's very soon. So clearly, nothing in this world is for its own sake. It's all pointing towards heaven. Everything we do here is to build up treasures in heaven. Because we can only merit for heaven on earth. As I said in my last talk, we can only build up those treasures while we enjoy the benefit of the veil. So obviously, what we should really want to do is build up as many treasures in heaven as possible. That should be our greatest desire, and it's precisely through the gift that we can do that. Jesus tells Louisa, in fact, everything that is done in my divine will is sown, germinates, grows in an admirable way on earth while one is living, but the completion will be formed in heaven. The final development, the variety of beauties, the shades, the most beautiful and striking tints, this will be given to her in celestial fatherland. Remember, Jesus says celestial fatherland, he's talking about heaven. So each act done on earth will be like taking more room in heaven, one additional right, an advanced possession of the celestial dwelling. For each additional act that she has done, the creature will bring with herself new beatitudes, new joys, communicated to her by my will. My divine fiat never says enough. It wants to make the creature grow in sanctity, grace, beauty, under her last breath of life down here. And therefore it reserves for itself to give the final brushstroke of completion as its full triumph in the celestial regions. In heaven, nothing begins, but everything begins on earth, and heaven completes. So as much glory as we see on earth, even during the era, God is really waiting for heaven to show us the final brushstroke of these gifts, of these treasures in heaven that we're building up through every single one of our acts in the divine will. Each one of these acts begins on earth, but it only is completed in heaven. Every single solitary act you do in the divine will, picking up one little piece of garbage from the floor, you can breathe, you can do everything in the divine will. Every single one of those acts is like a glorious treasure that you only see the first little hint of on earth. But it grows in heaven to be a huge mansion, a castle. Jesus says, good daughter, the great good of living in the divine volition is amazing and almost incomprehensible. You must know that everything good, holy that is done in my divine will is nothing other than a seed that germinates in the field of the soul. placing as though many seeds of divine light, which set the beginning that will have no end. I feel so drawn to the soul that lives in my will that I do what she does together with her, and I transmute the operating of the creature into divine. I take everything into account, and I reward everything, even the smallest things. And even just one good act of the will does not remain defrauded in the creature. He doesn't forget. Every single act on the divine will, he's never going to forget it. You might, you probably will, but Jesus won't. Every single act, you just formed a new kingdom in heaven for yourself and forever. Okay, maybe that doesn't inspire us enough. Maybe we want something else to inspire us to desire to give even more. Well, there's plenty more. I don't have time to go through too much of it, but I can fit a couple more things in. And let's talk about assurance of salvation. We all want to go to heaven. We can't build up treasures then if we're not there. So let's certainly want to go there. That's the whole purpose of redemption, is saving us from sin and enabling us to enter into heaven. And we've talked about how that's only the beginning. Our redemption, our justification, our salvation is only the beginning of our journey, not the end. Still, the gift is still the best way even for that, to assure your salvation. Jesus tells Louisa, no one who had possessed the kingdom of my will, even for a short time, could remain without redemption. One who possesses this kingdom enters into such bonds and rights with God that God himself feeds with him the strength of his own chains that bind him, and he cannot get rid of it. We know, as a matter of faith, that Adam, for example, was saved because it would be impossible for him to not be. Because in the beginning of his life, he lived in the divine will. All it takes is a moment in the divine will, a single act in the divine will, to make an invincible chain between your soul and heaven. Okay, well, you can get into heaven, but there's something else there's somewhere else you shouldn't want to go. So we shouldn't want to go. We don't want to go to hell, that's for sure. But there's another place we shouldn't want to go after we die. Purgatory. We should not want to go there. Because in some Catholic circles, it's like you're expected to just assume that you're going to spend 8 billion years in purgatory. No, we do not want to do that. We want to go straight to heaven, and we can with a gift. In case you're worried that this is arrogant or something, wanting to go straight to heaven, let me quote St. Therese of Lisieux. St. Therese wrote in a letter to one of the sisters, "You are not sufficiently trusting. You fear God too much. I assure you that this grieves him. Do not be afraid of going to purgatory because of its pain, but rather long not to go there because this pleases God, who imposes this expiation so irreverently. From the moment you try to please him in all things, if you have an unshakable confidence that he will purify you at every instant in his love, and will leave you no trace of sin, be very sure that you will not go to purgatory." Okay, so maybe that's a bit of a bold task there to be that trusting. Of course, that's precisely what we should be. I just wanted to read that quote so you know that it is not unorthodox to really hope and plan on not going to purgatory. So let's take a look now at what Jesus said to Louisa. "The first thing that my will does is to get purgatory out of the way, making the creature go through it in advance, so as to be more free to let her live in my will and to form his life as it best pleases. So if the creature dies after an act, determined and wanted, of living in my volition, she will take flight toward heaven." In heaven, because my will reigns in it, there can be neither sins nor purgatory. So on earth, if it reigns in the soul, there can be neither sin nor fear of purgatory. My will knows how to rid itself of everything, because it wants to be alone in its place, ruling and dominating. So if you don't want to go to purgatory, if you want to go to heaven directly, live in the divine will. Jesus said a single act is enough to deliver you from purgatory. Now still, do all the ordinary things that we do to avoid it. I actually strongly recommend getting a plenary indulgence every single day. It's not hard. I don't have time to go into the details on that, but plenary indulgence, yes. But above all, live in his will. A single act guards you from purgatory if you die after it. Now, of course, unfortunately, most of us will probably wave back and forth a bit. You have to be in the divine will upon your death in order to be still guaranteed you won't go to purgatory. So we should all strive, of course, to be continually in the divine will. Not to only live in the divine will in the moments we feel inspired, but continually every moment of every day. And that is the way to be absolutely prepared for death whenever it comes. All right. We've renounced our self-will. We desire the divine will. One thing left, and that's to ask for it. Ask for it very clearly. Jesus tells Louisa, how many gifts do we want to give? Because they are not asked for, we retain them within ourselves, waiting to give them when they are asked for. By asking it, it is as if commerce were open between creator and creature. If one does not ask, the commerce is closed, and our celestial gifts do not descend in order to put themselves in circulation on the face of the earth. This is why it is so sad that there are some Catholics out there who will just reject this. All they have to do is ask for it. But God's not going to give it if you don't ask for it. And this is why we need to be like children. If we are so caught up in our own intellectual ponderings that we've decided that we're not even going to ask for His gifts, we'll be regretting it for all eternity. So, let's not let that happen. Let's ask for it. How? Explicitly, every day. You can do every day, ask for the gift of living in the divine will, certainly in the morning. Hopefully you're all doing a morning act already. Incorporate the divine will into that. You don't need to completely redo your prayer life. Jesus does not ever ask someone to just completely substitute his existing spiritual life with something else. Keep doing what you're doing, but incorporate into it, at least on a number of occasions throughout the day, asking for the gift of living in the divine will. A morning offering, something like this could be used. I'm not going to read the whole thing, maybe a paragraph or two. You can have your first words upon waking up be, good morning, blessed Mother, I love you. Come, help me to offer my first act of the day as an act of love in the divine will of God. And then from there, keep making, so that's called the prevenient act, which means first coming before. And then Louisa says make the present act throughout the day, because we're, of course, always going to be falling, as we tend to do. So ask for it again throughout the day. Just say, Jesus, I trust in you. Thy will be done. I give you my will. Please give me your will. It's very simple, but it needs to be asked for. There is a little quote from the New Catholic Encyclopedia, because I want to show that this asking is not particularly new, even though the sanctity is new. Curative intention is aided by joining it with acts of conformity to God's will. To say often, thy will be done, in union with the good intention, helps one to act from a more pure love. Pope John XXIII granted a plenary indulgence to be gained once each day under the usual conditions by the faithful who in the morning offer to God their labor of the whole day, whether intellectual or manual, using any formula of prayer, and a partial indulgence of 500 days, as often as with a contrite heart they offer the work at hand, using any formula of prayer. So you actually get an indulgence in the church also, from simply often saying, thy will be done. The greatest prayer, the greatest parts of the greatest prayer. Jesus, I trust in you, thy will be done. Okay. So you've asked for it, and there's something, and that's the key. The key is just living. Jesus says in some, I can't remember the quote exactly, but he basically says, live in my will, and I do the rest. Do it all for you. Just remember the simplicity above all. Don't ever let the simplicity escape your mind. When you hear people getting really into the depths of these writings and really advanced in them, don't ever let that overwhelm you, because the simplicity never leaves. It's always the overarching theme. Even as you grow in understanding of all the details, the simplicity is still there to anchor you. But we also want to try to do everything we do in the divine will. I don't want to talk too much about this, because Father Castell did a great job reminding you, instructing us on how to do that. Just Jesus doing in us everything we are doing. To try and say before we do anything, Jesus, do this in me. You can also try to turn your specific things that you must do throughout the day. Try to find a creative way to turn them into prayer intentions. This can actually make what you do a lot more fun also. I think I put this in my book. I bought a fixer-upper. My house was a major fixer-upper. And it's a good thing I didn't know how much work I was getting into before I bought it, because I never would have bought it. In general, it's good that we don't know what we're getting into when we do God's will, because then we wouldn't do it. So it's a really good thing that He keeps us in the dark sometimes before, and we can act in faith. Anyway, I've had to demolish so many old rotting structures that this guy built and that he basically ruined the whole property with before me. But every time I'm demolishing something, I pray, Jesus, in this demolition, demolish the reign of the human will. So I'm just going around demolishing the reign of the human will all day, just on my property at home, just demolishing all the walls. You can find some way to turn every little thing you're doing into some specific prayer intention in the divine will. When you're sweeping the floors, you can ask that the reign of the human will be cleaned off the face of the earth. It doesn't have to be lengthy, it doesn't have to be intellectual, it can be just some simple little intention like that. It's going to help you to live and act in the divine will, and guess what? It's also going to help you to enjoy more doing what you already have to do anyway. And it's not going to inhibit it at all. So that's what I recommend. The other ways that we can do everything in the divine will, as well as St. Paul admonishes us in Scripture to pray continuously. Jesus tells us, he said, "What I ask of you is a spirit of continuous prayer, the continuous effort of the soul to converse with me, with its heart or with its mind, with its mouth or with a simple intention, renders it so beautiful in my sight that the notes of its heart harmonize with the notes of my heart. I feel so drawn to converse with this soul that I manifest myself to it." Simply wanting to talk with Jesus all day, he says, is so beautiful to him. It is so, it draws him so powerfully that he can't help but reveal himself to you just by wanting to talk to him all day. Probably don't want to do it too much out loud when you're in public and other people are listening. Well, you could, maybe you can evangelize that way. But certainly in your mind, just constantly be talking to him. It's, depending on what you're doing, will determine what much of a degree you can do this too, but in some sense, you can always be just conversing. It doesn't have to be recorded in any form. Just a continuous conversation is going to anchor you in the gift of living in the divine will. Also, doing the hours of the Passion, the rounds. I don't have time to go into all those, but when you're getting into those things, you're really getting deep into Louisa's revelations. The hours of the Passion are especially important. Jesus promised